Hello everyone. So took a break from Skip Racing last week because Netherton was kind of, well, pretty much an oval and I don't like those Stratfest tracks, so it was a good time to take a little break. However, this week we are back with Mid-Ohio Raceway, which is among my favorite tracks in the Skip Barber series. Was already looking to get a race in yesterday, however the SOFs have been extremely weak this week so far. The participation is kind of low on this track, unfortunately. So the SOF is also a little bit low on this one, however a 20 car field and starting from P16. And since Mid-Ohio is quite a likable track for me, maybe, just maybe, I will try to get in another race later this week with a higher SOF, so stay tuned. So P16 in a 20 car field. Let's hope there's not gonna be too much crashing, not the highest SOF, so would be fun to work my way up in this field. Quite nice gains already. Some free gains in this corner. Let's see where we are. Already P8. Just in the draft of the guy in front, Yukinori.
Sorry.
Getting a little bit closer there than I would like to be. But all good so far. So against very good drivers, the only passing opportunity here really is this straight that we're on right now. Okay, so those guys should have a little bit more pace up there. So already top 5. We also have visual on Edwin, who is leading the race, but I'm afraid he's a little bit too fast to catch him from that far behind. But let's see how we solve this trio here. Not gonna be easy to pass cars that also have the draft from a car ahead. Tire is still not there yet, so this session is a little bit warmer than I've had in the previous sessions that I've done. Not the best grip out there. Everybody goes really wide here. That went a bit better than expected. Too hot on the way in. Kind of on the hunt for the lead, but I would need half a second a lap against Edwin, which is most likely not gonna happen. I did race Edwin in the first session of the week. I had quite a bit of pace on him, but I'm afraid he was in that session with no practice maybe, so He's probably on pace now. Wow, he just lost a second with the guy with the back marker. So if I still have that pace on him, which I had in the first session, that actually just may have put us in play for the first. But still highly doubtful. I think it's time to put on the delta and see what kind of times we can get in this session. I'm guessing 35.6 would be a nice one by the end of the race. Previous one a little bit of a lousy lap, gained only a tenth on Edwin. So I think Edwin wasn't really happy with the way this guy let him by, so I might also have some trouble and lose some time with this guy. He doesn't let me by. Luckily he does. Well, not really the way he should be letting me by, but yeah, still lost a lot of time with that guy. So there is still one hope. There is that one corner where if you mess up a little bit with that curve, you can have a half spin or even a whole spin, so let's see. So back to 4.5, but that back marker really cost us time on this lap. So I think the pace advantage is still there against Edwin, but only 7 laps to go now.
I say we follow 10 for a while. David, don't brake when someone's in the slipstream, man.
So this next right-hander here, that curb on the outside is really dangerous. only a tent, so there is no way. Let's try to hit that 35.6. Very close with the 1x. It's pretty much the only place you can really get those. So good track for safety rating here. This is how you want to hit that final corner. 35.7.
Look, I don't understand how your acceleration is so much better than mine when I took off at the same time right behind you.
Are you using auto clutch?
Yeah, I don't really know. Could be the setup.
Come on, Edwin, 1/2 spin. A bit too late on the brakes in this corner. I guess I'm used to the better session conditions from the previous ones, which I did like 24 hours ago, but still. Had to have a pretty big lift there, would have gotten the 1x otherwise. So 35.6 is definitely doable. I think even a 35.5 is. Still a couple more laps to put one together. Wow, just took a big chunk of time from Edwin there. Looks like the lap that I've done is pretty good, but there are still some corners where I gain quite a bit.
Girls, you passed right.
I'm consistently too late in this corner. There we go, 35.6. That felt a little bit of a messy lap, so there is still more room and the optimums do show a 0.5. There we go, finally a little bit better T2. Okay, that's a little bit better. A little bit too much on the inside in the middle of the corner. So that middle section was pretty nice now. Just missed out on the 35.5, but pretty good lap in the end. The final sector was still a little bit, I lost a little bit of time, but Pretty happy with that lap. So P2 there at the end, catching Edwin as well. He slowed down a little bit on purpose on the final lap, but yeah, would have needed a couple more laps to really make it interesting with Edwin, but let's go and have a look at the fastest lap. So the fastest lap of the race was actually the final lap of the race, so let's have a look. T1, not really crazy braking, and the thing you want to do here is you kind of want to turn in early and kind of carry the speed. So if you have good car control, I would recommend you also using this curb. However, if you're feeling a bit insecure, you can also stay off of it and it won't make a huge difference. However, if you're a top level driver, you're going to want to make use of this width of the track here. So the track also slopes up a little bit, so when you feel in the middle of the corner that you're almost gonna understeer off suddenly here at the end, the track will actually catch you and you will be fine. The second corner, really important corner and a very tricky corner, and a lot of drivers do one mistake here because this corner leads onto the longest straight of the circuit. I think also I see Edwin here. He's taking a pretty wide entry, and I think you shouldn't do that because the radius of the corner is so long that you just lose so much time on that wide entry. And what I do here differently is, first of all, the 200 marker is kind of my braking reference, but I go a little bit past it. And what I'm visually looking here after that 200, basically when the track starts to rise more rapidly, then this is when I hit the brakes. So yeah, it's a little bit past 200, not quite in between 100 and 200, like maybe a third on the way here. And as soon as I start braking, I turn the car towards the inside of the corner here. So I come pretty much right on the inside here, and on a perfect lap, you kind of understeer wide here for a little bit. Yeah, I stayed way too much on the inside on this lap actually. However, in a perfect lap, what you want to do is you want to have a little bit too much speed at this point. Then you want to get understeer off of this curb a little bit. Then you want to release the throttle, have a lot of steering, then the car will rotate and get on the throttle early and get on the throttle as early as possible. And yeah, I'm way too much on the inside here, so basically I did brake a little bit early on this lap. Oh yeah, the exit was a little bit too much, still turning on the way out, so possible to brake a little later there. So this next corner here, I'm keeping my eye on this 300 here on the left, and then it's basically by the feel here how if I pass it, and then I just feel like when I need to brake, there isn't really any good significant reference point here after this. And I can't really say that I want to brake at the 200 marker. So it's pretty much in between. And yeah, just have my eyes on the 300 and after I pass it, I hit on the brakes. And you kind of want to come off the brakes pretty smooth here. And what you never want to do in a race, you don't want to brake too hard and late here, because if you miss this braking, you're gonna mess up the following sequence of the corners and it's gonna cost you a lot of time. So rather brake early and just get off the brakes here smooth. Try to get as right as possible, but not like crazy all the way. And then this one, also a little bit tricky, but you just have to use this upslope here. So yeah, get a little bit of get a lot of rotation in and just kind of let the slope catch you here. So I'm coasting all the way to the apex here, just letting this slope catch me and slow the car down. And I also go into first gear on the entry into this corner, and then as soon as I'm ready to accelerate from the apex, I hit the second gear. Now, pretty important to stay as left as possible right away. So pretty much a little lift and a little bit of brakes here. No braking reference, pretty much just by the feel here. And this corner, you want to start accelerating earlier than you think you should, because there's actually a lot of room to wiggle out a lot of speed from this corner. So I'm going pretty early here, and you're gonna get more scrubbing in the next corner than you would like this way. However, you still gain like almost a 10 here with that earlier exit, so you're not gonna lose it all back here by scrubbing a little bit more in those following slight corners. So just try to get on the throttle earlier than expected and just kind of try to make it through here. So this one also, like, it's not too much of a corner, however, still you can gain a little bit of time by staying on the inside here, but taking a little bit more to the left here for the next one is the kind of safer route. So I was kind of in between on this lap, and this is the curve which can end your race or at least lose a lot of time, because if you hit that one wrong, you're gonna half spin or full spin here. So be careful here in the races. Adding a little bit of throttle here just to make sure that I don't really snap at the rear suddenly. And also on the entry, already adding a little bit of throttle. There is the hops loop, and I think there is a little bit of chains of elevation here or something. So you feel like a little bump in the middle of the corner. You want to get over that, and then as soon as you get over that, you want to get back more on the throttle then. See, yeah, there is a little bit of a bump here. Boom. And as soon as I'm over it, I get more on the throttle. And then, yeah, just play with the throttle, see that you don't get the 1x from here, and yeah, usually manage to get a clean race in at Mid-Ohio. So, but this one is the only place where you can really get one often. So going into the next one, obviously want to stay as close to the wall, pretty close here, and if you're comfortable doing that, always just use the whole track as possible. So this corner I shift into third on the entry and play with the throttle on the entry here. Almost no brakes, just a little bit on the entry here to turn the car in. And as soon as I'm past Gabex, I go back into fourth again. This one is a corner which can really gain you a lot of time if you do it correctly. So you would think that you would really need to get on the left here, but there is no time for that really, and you don't really want to slow through this corner so much that you get to the left for this next one, but you just pretty much have to take it from the right side. If you have a little bit of room here and you weren't on the limit on this previous left-hander, then of course as much as you can get to the left, but it's not that important. So again here you don't really want to get like a crazy wide entry and try to keep the car from sliding here. You can very easily get into the slide, and see I'm adding a lot of throttle here. So I'm downshifting into first here very early and just letting the gear just kind of take the speed down, so I can also have a lot of control on my car with the throttle, so I can add throttle and still be losing speed. See, so I'm going from like 120 to like 90 kilometers per hour, and I'm pretty much on the throttle most of the time, so I'm kind of balancing the car with the throttle and I'm still losing speed, so that's like the best way. And kind of stay on the inside here. Don't take too wide of an entry, and yeah, just try to find that moment when you have the grip and get on the throttle here, and a little bit of a draft moment here from Medin, but I decided to go wide and just make it a draft free lap, and it was a 135.614, which should be a pretty good lap in those conditions. I did a 35.3 in race draft free this week, but it was 36 degrees track temperature, and in this one I think it was 39, so it can differ a little bit in this week's sessions. The weather will have a difference in your lap times, however, not too much of a difference so far from what I've experienced. And have fun and good luck in the races.